So, dear Dharma friends, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, that one time that he mentioned as his final word, the last word, appamadena sampadeta. So, don't be late to cultivate your profitable skills and don't be late to come out of the greed, hatred, or the delusion. Why Buddha says so? It because, remember, your very life mean time. So whatever your life means, the time, it belongs to time. So your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, your brothers, sisters, friends and family members, whatever you mention as your life, your habit, everything, even your karma is time. So when it comes to karma, there are certain karmas that if it affect only in this very lifetime. And then there are some other karmas affect your next life, and there are or some other time, and there are some other karmas, and when the right time it doesn't happen, it's going to disappear. And other thing is, there are the certain karmas, somehow, somewhere, it's going to happen. So somehow when you look at the deeper structure of the karma, you recognize it belongs to time. So when it comes to this life, if you look your life, whatever you mention as your life is time. So recognizing that is very important. And when it comes to your moment, this very moment mold, built by thoughts. You are the result of your previous thoughts in this very moment. Even you and around you, whatever the world you mention yourself, oh, this is my house and this is my people, my family. So take whatever. In this very moment, the life you experience is the result of your past. So this life mold built by your past experience. And not only that, there is a deeper planning system happen inside you regarding the future to become. So when the mind build coming from the past and settle down in the present, and then in that moment, it create the future. So this the timeline go. So if you don't bring anything from your past, and if you don't build in this very moment, settle down in your present moment, and if you don't build anything to the future in your mind, if you stay in this very moment, for you there is no samsara. Why? Because your mind itself come out of the thought patterns. Your thought itself is your samsara. There is nothing beyond the thoughts. Remember that. There is no any creation, or there is no somebody holding behind you. You are not tied to anything, or you no need anyone's initiation, or it is not going to happen because of something that happening outside. Your very thoughts is your samsara. Then look at yourself. Look how many desires in you. That is what your samsara. Can you just let go that everything, just can you be in this very moment itself? Even to get into just as an idea, it is difficult. Why? Because we always depending from past, depending from past, depending from past. So then your life itself belongs to time. Just be very clear. You have to do experiment. Just don't listen to me. Think yourself. Investigate. This is the moment. Remember, when you come to this moment, you come with your maximum effort, with the highest strength. You sit for meditation. I am not coming here to massage your head and make you comfortable. I am coming here to make you completely clear, free from all the dogmas. So then look yourself. The very moment itself is your life mean time. Then what is the death mean? So the death mean like time. When somebody born in this world, and the moment by moment, and they spend the time, and you hear 100 years old person died. You not become worry about that person. And you heard 20 years old person died. And then you think about it a little bit. It is your reaction different. How that difference happened? And according to the time. And then that time has the connection. So when the time has connection to you, then it's a deeper reaction happen. As example, 20 years old person, it is your person. Your son or your daughter, your brother, your sister, then the pain become higher. Then how about 100 years old person? It's yours. Then there is a pain still because yours, but it's still 100 years, it's different. Why? Because the time involving in that moment. So then the time and the space mean you are the center, then from you to outside the space. So the time and space create suffering and this samsara. This all happens with the thoughts. So our responsibility is becoming very clear. So that's I'm going to put it to the table, and then it is up to you to investigate about it. All the thoughts come out from the past. All the thoughts coming from the past. So when the sensation happens, your thought involving, that is where the consciousness arises. And that the consciousness bring the desires. Desire means the current to become. So thoughts come, and when the sensation happen, when the perceptions happen, in that very moment, the contact happen, with that contact to the sensation, thought involving, and that is why the desire arises. And that desire give the power to become. So the thought, whatever came, it coming from your past. And once the foundation become past, so whatever you create, it has a link to the past. So whatever you take, even you take this pen, this appear, it doesn't came like this way. It happened tokang kane. That means slowly, little by little. This pen came to this model. Not suddenly person create a pen like this. There was a previous idea behind this. Not similar to this, not like exactly like this, but the idea was here. He modified that idea to bring this pen to this level. So all the material the same. Even your thoughts with the people the same. That whoever you are, that your family today, in the beginning you had a thought. And according to that thought, that this became like this. So you have to be very clear with that in the first. And so then what is happening? What is the death mean? You die means you just disconnecting from the time. But the desire go beyond the time now. Why? Because it create a current. You start to think beyond the time. So the life belong to time, and the thought pattern came from your past, and then in the middle, when the perception happen with the contacts, consciousness arise, and because as a result of that consciousness, it give power to desires. So because of the desire, it jump over the time. More from the moment, it jump to the future. But in this very moment, your body dealing with the time. The body cannot live in the future. But the mind, your thought pattern start to go beyond the moment. And then when you die, what does that mean? Your thought already beyond the moment, but the body still with the time. And when the body disconnect from the time, mind already jumped to the next level. So this is samsara. Keep going. So the four foundation, the satipatthana means it allow your mind to stay with the moment. That's why it get the help out of the body, because you cannot live in the future. You cannot live in the past, the real body, not the mind. The real body cannot live in the future or the past. So in this very moment, sensation means it is not a past sensation or the future sensation. So this is not a magic. Just be very clear. Once you recognize that everything going to be with this here. So you observe the sensation. Then where are your mind? In this very moment. While you observing your mind, if you die, then there is no current to become. But when the sensation here, or even the thought arise, or whatever you observe the very nature of the body, in that very moment you go to the depth of that. And if you observe without thinking, if you observe, if your mind exactly come to the present moment of the speed and stay with the moment, in that very moment, if your time period finish, there is no current to become. But the thought always jump ahead. Jump ahead. Appamadena samba, that's why the Buddha mentioned, be very clear, your life is belong to time. This everything means time. So once you recognize that, you don't spend your life unnecessary waste. You don't waste your time. So what is the best that you can live in the very this moment? But look at the world. The people plan ahead as a person, as a family, as a village, city, state, country, world. We plan ahead physically, psychologically, spiritually. Sometimes some people thinking, I want to born in heaven. I don't want to go to hell. So you resist deeply from your future. So that also already create a certain kind of desire. So then remember always, your thoughts belong to past. So then if you live with the thoughts, that means naturally it has a future. But if you able to drop down the thoughts and stay in the moment, in that very moment, you not belong to time. In this very moment, if you able to get into the depth, whatever you get the poor foundation. Why we get the poor foundation? Because it is, that is very being yourself. It is not from outside. So you get into the very being of yourself with your body or the sensation or the thoughts or the very nature of the body, the dharma. And if you exactly come to and get connected to that moment, in that very moment, if you don't have any thought regarding past or future, in this very moment, you not belong to time. In this very moment, if you settle down and recognize the change, and if you settle down with that change, there is no desire to become. In this very moment, then you not developing your life moment by moment. And that very moment you come out of the timeline means your liberation happens. But to get into that moment, you need to understand this pattern in the very basic level. In the conventional life, remember, don't struggle with life. Don't struggle with life. Just try to put your attention to your behavior and just recognize, slow down yourself. And remember, certain things will going to disappear with the time. And there is a reason it came to you. By the time it's going to go. But whatever, if you have to do something, do your best. That's why we with the whole path, do the right things. Don't try to change. Do the right thing. That's it. Whatever it come to you as a responsibility, and just do the right thing. You have no power to change anything. Stay with it and deeply yourself. Don't depend your past from past. Don't depend from the future. Don't have desire to create the future. With sitting on the present moment, don't mold, don't build, don't plan your future. That's why it say we living in our past. So as example, you to build a house, it need to come to as idea, it plan, you have to come, it has to come to your head. So before you build the house, it is already in you. So then you take it to the paper and then you build the house. And you enter to the house in that very moment thinking, oh, this is a new house. I came to a new place. No. Already you lived in that place. See that how different we are with the present moment and the past. So that's why in the most of time in day-to-day life, so whatever with our bodily, verbally or mentally action, or even with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever we experience, mostly it is with the related with the past. We building the future. That's why it's like a carpenter building. So in the middle, what is that? Desire. So slowly slow down. Accept. Acceptance is the most powerful tool. Try to do that. Just try 1 hour every day. Whatever happen, accept. Be in the moment. Don't try to think about the past or the future. Don't compare anything to anything. Accept. Just as if it is just hearing this, maybe you get afraid. Start with 1 minute. Whatever, learn to accept. That acceptance is the quality of enlightenment. But even you don't attain to enlightenment, you may in the physically material conventional level, you will experience what is this being in the moment, in the living in the present moment, and without creating future according to our past. And what is this moment? Learn to accept. Just start with 1 minute every day. If it is comfortable, increase to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Completely surrender. 5 minutes, accept. Try. And then you will see when the day comes to die. So without any desire, without any current inside you, without any comparison, if you able to die, there is no becoming. When there is no becoming, you already attain to the Nibbana. So remember, if I summarize, everything belongs to time, especially when it comes to thoughts. Your thoughts belong to time. The thoughts mainly happening because of the past. When the contacts happen, in that contact, sensation arise, and the consciousness arise. In that consciousness, your previous thought influence happen, and because of that, the desire arise, and because of that desire, becoming current arise. So if you are able to recognize and tackle this pattern and slowly take out the past and the future, you are in the moment. So that's why this four foundation developed. It called Satipatthana. You establish your awareness with the moment. When you are with the moment, you detach from the time. When you are detached from the time, you detach from the space. When you detach from the time and space, you not belong to samsara. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu. Sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang. Asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you. So thank you very much everyone.